Conversation that I'm not seeing people have is, yes, we are losing out on our third spaces, but we are also losing out on our primary spaces. I am 27 years old, and like everybody I know lives in an apartment. I think I have one or two people in my life who live in a house, and that's it. No one can host anymore. No one can do anything in their primary spaces anymore because it's too small. There's nowhere for anyone to even sit. When I was growing up, people that I knew, family, friends, adults in our lives had pools and garages and dens and game rooms and 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms and full kitchens and everything. And back in the day in Florida in the early 2000s, okay, people were living large then. You did not have to be rich to have a pool in Florida, by no means at all. These were very, very middle class people who were living in these spaces, and people could host Thanksgivings, football parties, Christmases very comfortably. And now you have someone who's got a 400 square foot apartment, studio apartment with a roommate. I'm like, yeah, why do you have a roommate in a studio apartment? We cannot even host each other. The art of hosting is dead. That one girl who went viral about that, I completely agree with everything she said. The art of hosting is dead, and I think that has a lot to do with the fact that no one has these primary spaces anymore. Like in the future, going forward, if none of us are able to own a house, I should be able to own a house by now. Being 27 with the money that I have been making for the past couple of years, if I had been making that in the early 2000s, I would have had a boat and a house and a private chef and a masseuse, okay? If I was making what I was making, I would be living large. But no, I have to be making this money in 2024 and am very realistically looking at needing to get a studio apartment. And it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like going forward, what are we going to do? Host each other for Christmases and Thanksgivings where you have one love seat and that's all you can fit in your living room? What's the plan here? What are we going to be doing? We're losing out on our primary spaces too. We can't even hang out at each other's houses. And like, yes, if you have one or two friends over, maybe even two is pushing it. One friend over, that's fine. You're watching TV, you can sit on your couch, you can fit comfortably. But any more than that, and people are having to find your makeup stool to sit on in your living room so that they're comfortable. I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. We're losing out on both. The modern world is making us lose out on all of our spaces. And not to mention our animals are losing out on it too. They have to live in a studio apartment with you. You have 2 German Shepherds in a studio apartment. They need a yard. Okay? And it's just so crazy to me that no one's really talking about it. We're losing out on all of our spaces. We are being shoved into a corner by end stage capitalism. Anyway, it's 9 a.m. and that's how I feel.